guys, welcome back to the next episode of the Getting to Know You series. Today, I had Anwar from Team Nazareth, so let's bring him on. So welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, Isha.
Yeah.
Thank you for also making time. I know you had me for the weekend, but I wasn't going to be out of town, so I'm happy you fit me in your schedule today.
Yeah, of course. So let's talk about your injury. So what happened?
I don't know if this is what I'll talk about first. No, just kidding. Yeah, it was actually Wednesday because I've been counting down the weeks. Marked 6 weeks since I rolled my foot. It was like a broken play, or it was like the ball came off the rim, and me and Sumer were both chasing the ball like after it hit the rim, and we both took a step. His foot was down. My foot came right on the side of his foot, and it just fully turned. So I had I guess I did actually roll or sprain my ankle in years past, a couple of years ago, off of jumping up for a rebound and then landing on a foot. But this one felt different. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting old or what, but I think also because I couldn't control my body weight, because it was just my foot that was out when I stepped, and it just fully turned. And honestly, it's been pretty kind of bumming me out, because when I rolled it, I was like, okay, I think in a couple weeks I should be okay. But this past week I've been just testing it out, and it's still bothering me to an extent. So, but hopefully, should be thankful at least that it saved possibly from a bigger injury, but I'm getting there slowly.
And this happened on pickup Wednesday night, right?
Yeah, that was another thing. I remember you and I spoke about it, where during the season, especially pickup ball, we should be careful from other injuries like Ismail, myself, Amr, even from pickup. He broke his nose, or he did actually. It was a confirmed broken nose. That's why he wears the mask. But all from pickup ball. So I think it's not that we're playing differently during pickup. I think it's just we need to just be more in control of certain things. Some things are unfortunate. For me, for example, just we both took a step. My foot was just placed wrong, and it rolled on the side of his foot. But we talked about, with the pickup basketball sessions, we need to try to tone it down, especially during the season. And I know you didn't play, right, for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so I typically don't like playing Wednesday night ball during the season for that reason. One, because I feel like it's not worth it if somebody were to get hurt, and two, I just feel like it's a different feel to it. So if we're in a season, I don't want to go to pickup and not play hard, because some of those laziness from those pickup games transfers into a real game. Yeah. So I just don't feel like it's worth it. I don't mind coming and working on a couple of things, taking some shots, things like that, but I don't want to play an actual full court game.
Yeah.
So in that moment, what was your biggest fear about your ankle?
So when I actually heard it, I thought it was much worse than a sprain. Like I said, it hurt much more than previous ankle sprains that I've had. The last time I rolled it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. So my fear is that I was I thought I possibly broke my foot. But just some background, I went to urgent care the next day, because as soon as I took my shoe off, it was just a softball was just on the side of my foot. So I knew something, of course, was fairly wrong. So I went to urgent care. I got the whole X-ray and everything done. I have a follow-up appointment as well coming up soon, because like I said, it's still bothering me. But my fear was that I was going to be out for I have been out for the season now, but being out for the season, missing the league, especially this season, we're all so excited with multiple things what you're doing, of course, as well. This all draws a lot more interest in the league. So me just being on the sideline, people are mic'd up, you're doing these podcast things, and I'm just on the sideline rooting my team on, even though they haven't let me down, right? So they've been killing it. But my fear was, that this was going to be a long-term thing, which I should probably just, tone it down and just make sure my health is more important than the league. But definitely missing out on a lot.
And I remember the next day, I think you sent me a picture with your whole leg was blue.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. It was all, my whole foot was blue, black, swelled up. It swelled even up to my calf. So, but and I've been taking really like trying to take really good care of it. Like I haven't been playing. Like I know the doctor even said like do light massages on it, like rub it with like oil or icy hot or anything. So my wife, shout out to MVP, she's been like trying to take care of me. I bought like a foot bath, putting it in hot water, icing. So I've been trying to do like all these things, but inshallah, I'll get back to it.
So you're saying how, um, so you don't like. What do you hate most about being there on the sideline, not being able to play?
Just being out there for my team, and honestly, like for selfish purposes as well. Like it's something that I look forward to. Like every week, like by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm like, oh nice, like I got a game Saturday morning. Like I want to be ready for it. I want to make sure like my body's ready for it. I'm excited to play. Like I've played basketball, my entire life. But that's kind of like being on the sideline. It's nice cheering on the team. We've been winning, and even if we were losing, I would still have the same attitude of we're all a team. We're all brothers. There's still like a lot of love at the end of the day. But it definitely feels better being on the sideline while my team is still winning.
So, what are your thoughts about Wakasa's step up from?
Yeah, mashallah, it was huge. MVP right there. My MVP. I don't know if you guys have different opinions at the table, what you guys voted for. I don't know. Yassine is the one that got all these, all the forums. You got it as well, right? Yeah. So he knows who voted for who, and he's going to do the whole, or he must have already done it. But even for myself, once he tells me, it's most likely going to be prior to the banquet. I'm not going to tell anybody. But to answer your question, Vikas stepped up big time. I mean, like we saw it. The whole league honestly saw it. I'm not just being biased because that's my brother, but like I haven't seen him ball out like that for a while. And I think it's been like since we played in like the Pennsylvania leagues, like he's been consistent, doing well, and maybe I like take away from his game too when I'm on the court. Because I like to like hold the ball longer or make like one-on-one play type of things. But I noticed watching from third person, like he is actually like he's very dominant. So I'm really proud of him too, with the way that he's been just like really taking over for the team, carried us to the number 2 seed. And a lot of our players, they all contributed. It's not just Wakas who won us those games, but he was a big part of our team's success. Which honestly, like I said, watching it on the sideline, I didn't miss a game after my injury. I came every single week. I watched, just to see how the team was playing, tried to help where I can, and just witnessing that on the sideline was awesome. So,
Yeah, going back to the MVP, I think everyone is gonna obviously have their own opinions on it, but I think collectively everyone agrees that no matter who wins, I think everyone like kind of deserves it in their own way.
Yeah.
So,
Even the all the MVP candidates that we decided that would make that cut, like they're all equally important to their team's like success. But the reason why, like because I mean I'll just say Wakas was my number 1 vote. I won't share who my number 2 or my number 3 was. But the reason why and this is a discussion that like we even have at work sometimes or anything, right? Like a difference of opinions, like your dad said, where like with me, with me getting hurt, he could have easily went the route of just, man, like this season's over. Which I'm not saying that like in a like conceited way, but just like, like we lost like one of our top players, like we'll just sit on the back, like we'll just wait till playoffs, see what happens. Every team makes it, but no, like every week he wanted to go out and win and try to take over and help the team to winning, and that's really what drove me to say that he was my like MVP.
So, can we talk about the playoff games?
sure.
So, what did you guys think of last week's games?
You want to start about maybe the second game,
Yeah. So.
or if you want to share about your game as well, and then I'll give my 2 cents too.
So I think the atmosphere was great. I think having everyone show up, the crowd, they really fed into most of the players. Both games were close games, tight games, right? Also didn't see a lot of mistakes in either game. It wasn't like like a ugly game where
Yeah.
people are making mistakes and teams are hanging around. Like it was competitive from the start to the end. I think in our game, I was talking to Dawood about this today. I think the biggest lead either team had, I think they were up by 6, we were up by 7 at one point,
Yeah.
but it was back and
Yeah.
forth the whole game.
Both
The
games
other
ended
game,
within 4, right?
4 point, yeah,
both games. Yeah.
ended with a 4-point win, and it just either game could have gone either way,
Yeah.
right? But we knew Yasin wasn't gonna win. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I thought everyone played well, and hoping for the same this week.
This week, yeah. Yeah, no, same thing. It was I was really excited all week to go out and watch their games, and the atmosphere was amazing. Like I said, this season has like brought a different fire from everyone. Like I said, it stems from you doing these podcasts, Yassine Yusuf from doing different things on court. You do some on court stuff. Your dad's very active in the chat as well. So like even having all those things, it brings excitement within the league. So even like the first week of playoffs, where we normally don't have a turnout, like with the amount of people that we had, it's usually just championship. It was awesome to see. Yeah.
Then, so talk about your upcoming game. What are your thoughts? Are you planning on playing?
So.
You don't have to. You don't have to give away
No,
anything.
I know.
But
Yeah. So, I like I said, this past week I've really been going hard with trying to test out, trying to like move side to side, jumping on it, and like I said, I have been bummed out with the way that it's feeling because it's not feeling the way that I expected after 6 weeks. So my status is still up in the air. I want to play, but as I said earlier, from what I've seen from my team, without me being on the court, whether I'm out there or not, like I still expect big things from everybody. So I'm looking forward to it. Even if I play limited, if I don't play, regardless of my status, I'll see how I feel by tomorrow. Or if I'm just getting ready for our championship game, because we're gonna win. But I'm just kidding. But so I'm gonna see how I feel by tomorrow, and then test it out. Even I'm still gonna be in jersey and everything. I can give you that much information that I'll be like ready to be suited up. But how efficient will I be? I'm not sure. And I don't want to go out there also like on a playoff game, and even if it's championship too, like if we make it. And possibly ruin like the dynamic of our team, because there's been times also where I'm like, man, like I kind of feel like my team's better without me. So I'm like, wait,
Well, Gus tells me that all the time.
He does, yeah. He probably texts you every night when you guys are on like midnight calls, yeah, pillow talking. But yeah, so it's almost like even it's not like I'm like, oh, I want to go out there and I want to take over the game and I'm going to win it, or if I'm not out there, we're going to lose. I'm going to trust my guys regardless if I'm out there, if I play 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 0 minutes. I'm still expecting to win, and I'm expecting my guys to step up.
So you're confident in winning? Is that because the Twins aren't going to be there?
So you're hearing the rumors too. Is this true? I don't know. Maybe Ayan's just messing with us. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they're not gonna be there. I don't
Yeah,
think he's around at this point.
Yeah. No.
But I think we talked about this. Like I really thought he was trying to be funny and trying to like mess around. But it seems like they're really not gonna be there.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, honestly, because number one, they're two great players. They bring a lot of intensity throughout the league. I know Farhad talks really great about a lot of players. A lot of guys in our league talk really high about them, their attitude. They want to win. They're talented as well, mashallah. But it's kind of a bummer that in a big game like this to go to the championship, that they won't be there. Of course, everyone has other responsibilities and things that we need to do. But Honestly, as well, like I tried to reschedule the game, even knowing that I'm probably not going to be 100%. I tried to see if we could like play on a day where they could make it. Maz even sent me his dad's number, so I was like, I was trying to do what I could, because at the end of the day, I don't want to. I also don't want to hear people like say like, oh, like you had such an easy win because they weren't there. They're still a good team without them, right? So like even without them being there, Ayan will like players will definitely need to step up big time. But they are missing like a huge piece with those two guys being out. So which is unfortunate, but
And I just want to clarify. So like I do speak highly of the Twins, but it's one week one is good, the other week the other one's good. So
Yeah.
it's not both at the same time.
Yeah.
And this week like they're both out at the same time, so they
Yeah.
definitely need someone else to step up.
Yeah, agreed.
So next season, are you hoping that they do another draft, or do you want to keep the same team?
So we've talked about it too, like just amongst players in the league, just to kind of get some feedback of, like what we should do or what we shouldn't do. Me personally, I would, I want to do something maybe for next season where each captain can choose to keep like an X amount of players. Like let's say I'm a captain this season. Your dad's a captain this season. He can choose two players on his current roster to keep. Like he's basically like protecting them, right? So he's keeping them. But we need to like come up with a number where how we use the MBR for our
Yeah.
league, like the whole
Yeah.
rating thing that we use, where like what's the sweet spot of a number that like you can keep. Like for example, if I want to keep Lucas, right?
Yeah.
And he's like a 25 MBR, I may not be able to keep Matt as well. Like it has to be a balance of who, two players that hit that number.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that idea, where it still kind of keeps you, and I'm not just saying this to be biased to play with my brother again, but it also keeps like maybe 2-3 guys together to still build that like basketball relationship, like, just that chemistry, they say, but also bringing in new guys to fit in that you didn't play with in previous seasons. So I kind of like that idea, but I'm all for like doing a whole redraft. Same team, I'm not too supportive against, and I kind of want to hear your opinion on this too. The only reason being is because it feels like the league itself will not have like we won't have much movement with playing with newer guys, building newer relationships on the court. Because honestly, like the relationship I built with Ahmad Naim or Yusuf, actually, Yusuf's a good example. I probably wouldn't have built that relationship with him if he wasn't on my team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talk about like real life things. We talk about basketball. He'll ask me, hey, like he'll ask me for tips and stuff. If he wasn't on my team, I wouldn't be talking to him much like that, right? So, and like we had the draft night. So if we kept the same teams, we wouldn't have a whole draft night all over again with getting the guys together. But I'm for like either that protected draft situation and then drafting like 5-6 guys, or just overall just doing a whole new draft.
Yeah, so like in my opinion, like I like the draft. I like the way it's kind of went. I feel like with some of the injuries this season, I wouldn't mind keeping the same team just so teams can kind of come back and try to prove themselves. I feel like 9-game season is kind of short. Teams are just starting to like really mesh well together with each other as teammates. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, but at the same time, I do feel like this has been such a great season. If we come back with like nothing changes, is it gonna kind of feel stale next year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, I honestly, I think we can adapt to whatever the league wants to do, and I think we'll still find a way to have fun.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But definitely we're looking for growth for next season, right? Like we want to try to add possibly 2 teams.
Yeah.
Where we can add 2 more teams where, bring in, newer guys and just growing the league itself.
Speaking of those 2 teams, what are your thoughts of Lucas becoming one of the captains?
Ooh, he actually joked with me today at work, actually. Me, him, and Dawood were talking, and he was like, yeah, next season we're probably not going to play together, so I'll just be a captain. And we started laughing and stuff. But hey, if he wants to do that, that's fine. Honestly, like, it's to the point where like, of course I want to play with him, but there's going to be a time where if we continue to do this draft situation, there's going to be a point in time where we're going to be on separate teams. Will we guard each other on the court? Probably not, because I noticed like ever since we were kids too, he was always like stronger, bigger than me. He would always take it easy on me, even when I did like get to his size and like just his strength and stuff. He would still take it easy on me. So I feel like that's another reason why he doesn't like playing against me. But being on separate teams, I mean, we're not always gonna play against each other. But hey, if that's something that he wants to do, then I'll let him jump out the nest.
So speaking of that, him not playing hard against you, you notice he doesn't play hard defense against anyone in the league. Do you notice that?
Maybe that's just. So it's not just me.
I think that's just the way he plays defense.
Okay, yeah.
And I joke around, but like against us, like I was so mad because when you guys beat us that game, he literally like did not play any defense. He was just hanging out on defense, just catching his breath. Like I was getting so mad. But he's a smart player, right? So he knows how what to do and still walk away with the win.
Yeah. But that would be exciting though to see like us play separate, different teams. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
To see you guys on different teams.
Yeah.
So can we get into some personal questions?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what are some of your sports interests?
So all my life we played basketball like a lot. From when I was probably like, from what I can remember, because I remember at least for like I think one of my birthdays or Eid or something, I asked my dad to get me like one of those. I was just telling your dad, but like the little Tykes basketball hoop where you can like fill it with water at the bottom, and it's kind of like what you have similar to that, but like just it sits on the ground. Yeah. So like we would like late night, like Wakas and I we would do like dunk contests, like throwing it off the wall and doing like windmills. So like from what I can remember, it's been like breathing basketball. But even from when in our childhood, playing wise, we played a lot of football, baseball as well. We would play like with like aluminum bat and a tennis ball. We would play in a tennis court actually. So there was like, we lived in like a townhome community in New Jersey, and there was like a bunch of kids our age. So like after school, we would just get together, either play baseball, basketball, or football. Like all three of those, it was just like literally, it was like clockwork where we would just cycle all of them. Yeah, and even just a story about like basketball and how much I've like just loved it since I was a kid. I remember I would come home from school, so you would hear this like if you talk to my parents, but my bus stop was like at the top of the hill, and I was probably like about like less than a quarter mile from the bus stop to my house. But I would just run home like full speed. As soon as I would jump off the bus, I would just run home, throw my backpack like 1 foot in to the door, throw my backpack, and then the basketball court, which Vikas would come home before me from school. He would already be at the court, so he didn't even wait for me. Like as an older brother, like you would think he would wait for me, right? But like we just loved it that much that he would already be at the court like probably 15-20 minutes before me, because I was like in the elementary and he would be in like middle school or something, so he would get home earlier. I would just throw my backpack and just sprint to the basketball court, and we would just play till like sundown. So again, like we would just get the community guys, everyone would just play together. But those three sports were our main ones. Watching is mainly football and basketball. Football, Giants all day. Yeah, Giants. And then basketball, I'm just a basketball overall fan of watching the sport. I don't care much about when the regular season's going on, but after like like the All-Star weekend that they do, the dunk contest and all that, after that is when I start to like just watch those bigger games and then playoffs as well. But we've been around sports, me and Vikas. My older two brothers didn't play much sports, but we've been around sports and playing since we were like really young. Yeah.
So you said football is like probably your favorite sport to watch?
To watch, yeah, football. Yeah.
So who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? And don't be biased because of who won.
I was actually rooting for the Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah. So Vikas is a Chiefs fan. If everyone, I'm hoping watched the podcast when he was wearing the jersey. But I've like kind of picked up. It's actually like all of our family. Like even just this past weekend when we were watching it, like my dad was going for the Chiefs. My other brother was also going for the Chiefs. It's just like, it's fun watching them.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people say like even I don't know if you remember like when the Patriots were just constantly winning.
Yeah, yeah.
I know you weren't watching, but like if you've heard about it, when the Patriots were constantly winning, like a lot of people were sick of the Patriots, right? Like seeing them win, and it's kind of like almost this is similar to what's happening with the Chiefs, where they're like, if you're like an Eagles fan or a Giants fan or anything, you're just like, oh, like I don't want to see the Chiefs win again. Like I want to see another team celebrate, which is true, but like also you're like, man, like this team is actually like they're
fun.
great. Yeah, they're fun to watch. They lost like Tyreek Hill. I know Issa's a big Tyreek Hill fan, but even after losing him, they're still like,
Yeah.
they
even
won
with
back.
those, like terrible wide receivers that they
Yeah,
have, other than Rashee Rice.
Yeah, Rashee Rice and like even like Pacheco, like he just put his name on the map just because he's with the Chiefs, but he's a good running back too.
Yeah.
But like they don't have these like huge big name guys, and they're still showing what they can do.
You guys are forgetting Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, he didn't even play.
Oh,
He's got like personal things, like personal
I think
things
he's more
going
of a
on.
defensive player
Yeah.
than an offensive player.
Who were you going for though, Isha?
49ers. Oh,
Really?
Patrick Mahomes is probably like one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
But I love Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle.
Okay, yeah, I can respect that. McCaffrey's like one of my favorite like players in the league.
I think George Kittle is just my favorite because he's just such a funny player. Like, even not on the field.
Yep. How did you feel about like? Did you watch the game, right?
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
I watched the game.
How did you feel about like the whole overtime rule about like each team? Do you know the difference between like regular season and playoffs?
If the first team that receives the ball gets a touchdown, then the other team still gets a chance.
Yeah, gets a chance in the playoffs. Yeah, how'd you feel about that? Because a lot of people were talking about that.
We didn't know.
We didn't even know that rule.
Oh wow.
Yeah, even I remember seeing something. The 49ers didn't know that rule.
Yeah.
The 49ers
Oh, they didn't even know that rule.
they
I didn't see that.
that.
Wow.
They said that a lot of players didn't know that rule.
Wow, that's crazy. But it makes the game more interesting.
Yeah.
But it was different because it was like what's going on? Like even if they scored, Kansas City still has a chance. But so you were probably pretty bummed out.
Well, I didn't mind because like the 49ers are like my second favorite team. But
and then
the
you
Chiefs
also
are my
like the
third.
Chiefs. Yeah.
So
Understandable.
You don't want to tell them about me talking trash to me when the 49ers were winning. And so I was rooting. So I like the 49ers. I also like the Chiefs, right? And what happens a lot of times is like when you're not a diehard fan of either team, you kind of start watching the game and then you kind of realize who you're rooting for while you're watching the game. So for me, it was like, I went into the Super Bowl, I think, like, I wasn't sure, but I was like, leading up to the Super Bowl, I was like rooting for the 49ers just because I felt like they have a good team. They, I find myself like rooting for them. I think it had more to do with the fact that last year the way that they lost the Eagles because of the injury to Purdy and stuff in the playoffs. I was kind of rooting for them to kind of get there, but then as the game started and I was watching it, I found myself rooting for the Chiefs, and they won at the end.
Yeah,
trying to make fun of Isha a little bit. Yeah. But it was
It was a great game though. Yeah.
You were saying before that for the Chiefs are kind of like the Patriots, where they were just going on that run.
Yeah.
You know who stopped them on that run? The Giants.
Yeah.
So you're saying the Giants are going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I hope so. I'll see a Giants and a Chiefs Super Bowl. That would be awesome. No, but Giants, that's a whole nother discussion. They need a lot of work right now.
Yeah.
A lot of work, and especially with possibly losing Saquon. But
So you're part of that PPL group.
Yep.
So how do you feel about?
How do I feel about like if we were to put a team together? Like thinking about it, like we would really be able to fill possibly the 1 to 5, like the point guard to the shooting guard to small forward and etc. Because like I noticed like your dad is actually really good at like facilitating, which is like a point guard's role, between Dawood, Wasey, being able to do like shooting guard, small forward type of thing. Me, Wakas, Andy being like the bigs on the team. It would be like it would be an awesome like fit like the players on paper, like that's like a very well rounded team. It would be exciting to actually like play with some of those guys because I haven't never played a season like for example with your dad. Dawood, of course, he's newer to the league and stuff. So it would be nice to all get together. That would we'd probably talk about it a lot at work and stuff if we were if we were all on the same team. But I don't think I think it's something that we joke about, but I don't think it's something that's actually going to happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like it's something that we all like like I said, we throw around the joke. But.
It's one of those things that's like fun to talk about, but honestly, like if we are sitting there at work, I want to be able to talk trash to you guys.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
as much as we would like I would love to like maybe put a team like that together and go play in another league or a tournament or something like that.
Like a tournament.
But,
Tournament would be nice.
but like for a season in Muslim basketball at least, I think I wanna I don't think it's
Agreed. Yeah, because it's nice even with us being on separate teams right now. Like you guys saying, like we can talk a little bit of trash. Like Andy works on a different floor than us, but he'll sometimes come up and like we'll talk a little bit, throw a couple jokes, this and that. But like if we were all on the same team, like we would just constantly be talking about like I don't know, just like game planning.
Yeah.
But how much can you talk about game planning? Or how much can you talk about other things? So it's nice that like we can throw shots at each other and say jokes and all these different things.
And we're able to like openly critique each other's teams and like what they need to do better because it was like a third party watching their games, right?
Because
Agreed.
each of you guys are on a different team other than you and
Workouts,
Yeah.
Yep.
But like I said, that again, you can probably agree too. Like we could possibly fill like the 1 to 5.
Oh yeah, I mean like from a roster standpoint.
From a roster standpoint,
it would be a very strong
yeah.
team.
It's not like you're just pulling like 3 point guards together and like
Yeah.
you're like 4
Or
like
three,
centers or,
or
something.
2 shooting guards that do the same thing.
Yeah, they do the same. Just shoot from 30
Yeah.
feet and brick it stuff and get angry when they lose. I love you, Dawood.
Yeah. Rapid fire?
Rapid fire? Okay.
Actually, because you mentioned Dawood, I did go get hijama done by him today.
Oh, nice.
So I'm kind of looking forward to
Feeling nice and
good tomorrow.
yeah.
And shout out to Dawood for fitting me into his schedule. And for any of the guys in the league that haven't gone to get hijama done by him, especially by him, go ahead and do it, man. I think you went once so far.
I haven't.
No, you haven't.
Yeah,
Wakas's gone.
yeah, Wakas's went.
I got it done for the first time a couple of years ago from him, and like, trust me, it's you notice a huge difference. There's so many things that I used to have issues with my shoulder, with my knees. One time I felt like my knee, I sprained my knee, and I felt like it was worse. I went got an MRI done and stuff, but then I ended up getting hijama done on it, and that was like a year and a half ago, and my knee, it just got better, and like I haven't felt anything since. So definitely shout out to him and just go out there.
No, and he, like I was saying too, he mentioned to me that like with my like ankle soreness and what I'm feeling, like he recommended that. And even like such a nice guy, he was like, don't even think about like, cost and stuff too. Like I'll take care of you, because he knows like, and even he's like constantly follows up with me about like, how's your ankle? How you feeling? So that really goes to show that like, the true brotherhood with that. But like you said, if anyone's, feeling any type of soreness or anything, the hijama is definitely something to consider.
And like the last time I went was like a couple of months ago, and it was so funny because I got there, I think it was a Saturday morning. I took my father-in-law to get hijama done on his back, and like we got there, and like he has like a little sign-in sheet for like just like you go to the doctor, you see like sign in whatever, and then I see Friday night it was like Yasin and Yusuf Zoni had both come in to get hijama done the night before, right?
Nice.
So it was kind of cool, like going somewhere and then seeing guys from the league and whatever.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
so it was cool. All right, you want to get into rapid fire questions?
Rapid fire.
So rapid fire again, just
Okay.
in case you don't know, it's gonna be she's gonna ask you some questions and try to just answer as quickly as possible without thinking too much into it. So like the first thing that comes into your head.
So I feel like I know the first question. I feel like I'm gonna break somebody's heart on my team.
Well, just don't be like Wakas, who took forever.
I remember. I was watching the video.
Yeah.
He's like thinking about each one, but I won't. I'll try to answer as fast as possible.
Favorite NBA team?
Warriors.
Favorite NBA player.
LeBron James.
Favorite NFL team.
Giants.
Favorite teammate, not including Wakas.
Yusuf.
Pizza or tacos?
Tacos.
Disgusting.
Nah, come on.
Best player in the league.
What league? Muslim basketball?
Yeah, Muslim
Our
basketball,
Muslim league.
sorry.
Pound for pound, best player is Drew.
Apple or Android?
Apple all the way. Don't ask your dad that. yeah.
Favorite player in the Muslim basketball?
In the Muslim basketball league,
Not including Wakas.
I would have to say Yassine Zoni.
Brownies or ice cream?
Brownies.
Florida or California?
California.
And most importantly, Hershey's or Isha Works.
Oh, Isha works all day. All day.
So here's a few s'mores, because I know you always
Oh,
do
yeah,
the s'mores ones.
Thank you so much. Yeah, honestly, I've tried, I think 3 of them.
Yeah.
And like they're all good, but s'mores is like way up top. And I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I was like, "Hey Isha, can you like add a couple more like crackers?" Because I was eating and I was like, "All right, like what would I change like a little bit about this if I like could customize it?" And I was joking with you, where I was like, "Can you add like a little more crackers?" Because I kind of like that like graham cracker and the chocolate combo. But shout out to you as well, Isha, for doing so much for the league. As you know, of course, I'm like one of the commissioners in the league, and we talk about a lot of things that don't go out to the stat keepers, to players, about appreciation, which we should be more vocal about it, because we appreciate what you guys do, what, like how Yusuf, for example, this season has stepped up with wanting to take pictures, make flyers, try to like post to our social media, all these things where without like you guys and your hard work and time that you're putting into this, the league would not be where it is. So on behalf of Muslim basketball, we thank you a lot for what you're doing and the time that you're putting into it. I mean, we have guys that are like, it's like midnight or like 11:30 at night, and people are like waiting to watch your podcast. So I'm saying like there's like that's the amount of interest that's in this. So I hope you, even for our, because inshallah we're gonna have a season after Ramadan for summer ball and winter ball. We're trying to just keep it maybe at 2 seasons a year, 2 long seasons a year, summer and winter, and then just take like 3 months off, including like Ramadan and stuff, where you stay consistent with this. And you're and shout out to Farhad, Mariam as well, the lead stat keeper, and bringing people into your guys' house as well. That's huge, right? So thank you for everything that you guys are doing, and I hope you can keep it up. Just please keep it up, because we're all loving it.
So speaking of those, the late night people watching and stuff. So like, what's crazy to me is like, as soon as something like her videos upload, I'm like, they'll be like, oh, don't forget to share in the chat.
Yeah.
And I'll go in the chat and somebody's already shared it.
Yeah.
Right. Or I'll go to the YouTube channel to go copy the link, and I already see like 4 or 5 views on it. And I'm like,
likes, yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And then also, speaking of late night, Ayan, you better like. I don't know if you've heard this before, but I went out to eat with these guys after the last playoff game, right? And Ayan apparently loves to like prank call people.
Oh no.
So he's been trying to like prank call me for a couple of weeks, like in the middle of the night, right? And I'm like, if I don't know the number, I don't know a name.
Yeah.
It doesn't show up, so he'll try to like block his number and call people. So I can see like Texas, Virginia, Maryland, like all these random numbers in the middle of the night. And
no wonder why his stats have dropped drastically this season. He's more focused on that.
So that video, I think that not the video, the audio that he posted with the prank call.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So that's actually him prank calling his dad. And forgetting to block his own number. So his dad saw the number, and like, it's funny because I was showing, I had her Mariam listen to it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, what did he say? He said something like, "Are you the guy that stole my car?" Or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "Dad's like, Ayan, stop it." Right. But like like characters like that in this league just make it hilarious.
It make it like, really funny.
There were times where like 2:00 in the morning I wake up, like I don't know, where like sometimes you're having one of those things that wake up and I'm just like, let me go in the chat and see if anyone's said anything that I missed while I was sleeping, and then I'll send a message to like Ayan or somebody else like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like before I think last week's playoff game, that morning, I woke up randomly again at like either 3 or 4 o'clock, and I woke up and it was like 3:15 or 4:15, and I look at my phone, and it was literally a message from Ayan like, I just woke up. Right?
What you guys are
So I was like about to sleep or such alarm for the game, right? But it's just so crazy.
Yeah,
like, you know, we have guys that,
Yeah.
you know, are enjoying just like the brotherhood outside of just being on the court.
Agreed. And even look at last week, for example, you guys going out.
Oh yeah.
Like you guys just played like, you know, a competitive game.
And
Both teams wanted to win.
And shout
and
out
you
to
guys
like
went out.
Yassine, because, you know, we beat their team, but he was there. Yusuf was there. The twins were there.
Yeah.
Ayan, Vic, their other friend, I forget his name. But then Amr and his younger brother, like they all went out to eat, and they invited me, which I appreciated because I, you know, haven't hung out like that late like that
in a while. Yeah.
You know, and I was gonna try to bail on them because Issa actually got hurt. He was crying, so I had to bring him home.
Oh yeah.
And I was gonna be like, oh man, I feel tired. I don't want to go. But then Ayan calls me.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna order you food, and I was like, all right, fine.
No,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go
See,
out
that's amazing.
there. So you know,
So-
that was awesome.
But this season has been a huge success amongst everybody with the players and what you guys are doing. So it's awesome. Yeah, it's exciting.
You have anything for us? Anything else? That's it. Predictions?
I'll actually let me ask you just one question. What I did want to ask, like, do you have like any like for future seasons? Like, do you wanna like where do you see yourself? Like, do you wanna be a part of the team? Do you wanna like? Well, you are already a part of the team, like the stat keeping, but like, do you wanna like try to take on more stat responsibility? Do something different with your podcast? Like, do you have anything in mind? Because, you know, hopefully, like our league just continues to grow. Where as it grows, we're gonna need people like you who are dedicated, who are passionate about it, to try to make us more successful. So, do you have anything? If you don't, it's okay. But I'm saying, you know, just something that you might consider changing or trying to improve.
I haven't really thought about that.
I know the Muslim basketball guys have asked you about taking over their podcast, which I told them no. But I think we need some collaboration stuff.
Yep.
And anything you really want to do. I have some ideas of doing like some like commercials and stuff for our videos, and having guys from the league randomly come in. Like, you know, growing up, like I used to watch those commercials of like Jordan and Larry Bird and Wayne Gretzky and all these guys just being like different commercials.
Like for
and
like
it was always fun 'cause they're guys you look up to playing sports.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Just random stuff like that.
Wait, if you guys are doing a draft next season,
Yeah.
are we allowed to go to it?
100%. Yeah. We already talked about.
We'll do a live podcast after the draft.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So
That'd
as
be
guys
awesome.
get
You
picked,
can
they
you can
even
do
come
like
sit and, be like, how did you feel?
yeah.
getting picked?
How are you like? What do you think about the next? Yeah, the thing. So we'll definitely keep you in the loop on that, depending on how we like what we do for future seasons. But yes, you will definitely be invited.
And you know what else would be good at the draft is you can sit next to Yassine and you can have like a long conversation with him. But by the time he gets drafted in like the 6th round, then you know you can just talk to him.
And keep in mind too that we're doing the banquet.
Yeah.
So even that as well, like of course you guys are going to be invited to come. So if you think that you can, you know, put something together, if you want to do like quick interviews or something like that, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So it should be in like maybe
We'll
3
interview
weeks.
whoever gets like the MVP, MIP.
Yeah, you can do like the awards, like interviews of the award winners. Yeah,
Mic him up.
mic them up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Predictions?
Thank you so much, Alicia. Oh, okay, yeah.
Predictions.
What do you want to do?
You are asking me first?
Who you
One
want
of
to?
L, you guys are going down. All right. Bring
Done.
the razor. Bring extra razor.
Bring the razor.
We're also shaving your head tomorrow. Done. Locked in. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
And then the other game, I don't really care because one of you guys are going.
He's
down
turning you
tomorrow.
into Little Bill. He's turning you into Little Bill, Al.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, tomorrow's games will be. I'm really looking forward to them. For me, you already know my prediction for our game for my team, but for Sheikh Jarrah versus Ramallah, is it gonna be a revenge game? because they're their Ramella's coming off a big loss from them, right? Specifically, they're coming off a big win from last week, so I don't really. Why don't you talk about it? I'll think about it while you go. Who do you think?
For your game, I think they're gonna win.
Okay.
Not because your team, there's like, I think your team is like one of the best in the league, but I just think that they're number one and they're still like the team to beat.
I'm tired of hearing your opinion on this fake shake shout out to me. All right, so I will give you my
Hershey's or Isha works.
I'll give you my honest take. I think that team has been messed up in the head because L just keeps making up garbage statements in the team chat, making it sound like the rest, like we don't like their team and we're making fun of their team and stuff like that.
Yep.
And those guys are all mad. Hopefully they watch this podcast and understand it's all L. Don't trust that guy.
Don't
right?
give him the ball. Don't put him in the game.
But I feel like they are going to be out to try and prove to the league. And I said this a couple of podcasts ago. I don't think it's about the respect. I don't think they care enough to get, like, it's not about the respect from the league. I think it's like they just want to make a statement, go out there and just like destroy teams.
Yeah.
Right. And they certainly did that against us last time. But we're not guys that are gonna back down.
Yep.
Right. I don't care if we're underdogs, if we're undersized and stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight. We lose, but we're gonna at least go down swinging. Right.
Yep.
And that doesn't work well for L and Sultan because if we're swinging, then they're not swinging, which means they're not being aggressive.
Yeah.
So,
I think I have Ramallah losing a close one. Like it's gonna be.
You had me when you said
Ramallah losing a close one, where like you guys are gonna play a great game, and like I'm being very negative right now towards your team, but it's gonna be a loss that hurts. Where you're gonna be like, wow, we had that, but I think Sheikh Jarrah will be the team that pulls it out at the end. But it's gonna be a great game nonetheless. For like the full 40 minutes.
So you think it's going to be a close game?
I think it's going to be a close game.
So let me ask you.
No team is winning by more than 6.
So let me ask you, if it's a close game, don't you think we're going to put Monum at the free throw line?
And then take out all the cameras?
Right? All the cameras, all the pressure on him. He can't hide in his team chat then.
What if he's not in the game though? What are you going to do?
I'll have him foul him on the bench or something. I don't care. But
honestly, it's going to be a great game nonetheless. I think whatever team it's going to be, inshallah, number one, I hope everyone stays healthy, but it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be very gritty, like meaning like it's just both teams are just going to be like wanting it to win. But like I said, I think Sheikh Jarrah will be the one that pulls it out at the end.
I think it's going to be like a 3 to 7 point game.
Yeah. But I'm rooting for Ramallah, honestly.
Yeah,
not just because
I
I'm
want you
here.
guys to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monum. So you guys started off as the underdog, the worst team coming out of the power rankings in week 1, and instead of being the Cinderella story, you guys have turned into the villains of the league.
Yeah.
So
everyone wants to beat them.
We want to take the villains down.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Looking forward to that. What about our game? My team and Ayan's team.
I think that your team's gonna win, especially with the Twins not being there. I think you guys have like a size advantage, but who else is on there? Who's on?
They'll have Qasim, Ahmer, brother Naji, Salman, Ayan, and Rocky. Okay. Yeah, so that's their 6 that they're expecting.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit.
So they'll still have a little size in Rocky, and Qasim can play a little big as well.
But
I heard some rumors Salman's not coming either.
Yeah, I heard that too. So I don't know.
So let's see, man. Hopefully he's there.
I hope. Like I said, I really hope whoever can make it can make it. I mean, but what are you thinking?
So I'm thinking Ayan is really regretting drafting people from the same family. When they go on vacations, everyone's gone.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know because I don't know your status 100%. I feel like Wakas is overrated a little bit, right? No, but seriously though, I feel like I think it's gonna be a good game also.
Yeah.
I want to see a good game. I honestly don't know who I want winning this game. And that's because like I do like both. I like the players on both teams pretty much equally, right? And I don't see myself rooting for one team or another. I think I just want to see a good game, and whoever wins, I'll be happy either way. But like I said with the Super Bowl, right? Like if I'm watching the game,
It's
that
like
might change.
yeah,
That might
yeah,
change,
yeah.
right?
Like who you go for.
But at this
Yeah.
point, like I'm hoping that they're able to field enough guys to make this a competitive game. If they don't, and they win somehow, I think they're gonna have, you know, I mean, to me, this is like the second year in a row where they're missing guys in like
Agreed.
the
Yeah.
semifinals game.
Which is a
Right,
bummer.
which to me is disappointing. But
Yeah.
like, how do you let that happen? Like,
Yeah.
we kind of know the schedule ahead of time. Like, we can't. You gotta plan.
You
a little
gotta
bit
try to plan a
Right.
little bit ahead. Yeah.
But then again, like, you know, if your dad's yelling at you, then you gotta
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
right? So, but yeah, I mean, I just want to wish both teams, you know, the best and
Yeah.
make sure everyone plays
Still,
well and
yeah.
everyone stays healthy.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yep.
100%. Don't forget your razor, L. Thank you so much, though, Isha. Do you have anything else?
I think
Think we're good.
That's good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me and
All
fitting
right.
me in your schedule.
Yep.
Thank you so much to Anwar for finding time and doing this podcast with us. Make sure you guys check out more playoff content coming soon. Isha Works, signing off.